You must have heard of food and wine pairing. But what exactly is that? Simply put, food and wine pairing is the art of matching food and wine to create a harmonious and an enjoyable dinner experience. It's a practice that has been around for centuries, with some of the earliest pairings dating back to ancient Greeks and Romans. Welcome. You're listening to TALRadio powered by Touch Your Life Foundation, and this is Foodology. I'm radio host Devansh, and on this show, I talk about the enormous world of a little word called food. Alright, now that you know what food pairing is, you must be wondering, why do we do it? Why have civilizations been doing it? Well, the answer is quite simple. Food and wine pairing enhances the flavor of both the food and the wine. When it's done correctly, the pairing can elevate a dish to new heights, bringing out the flavors that might go unnoticed. It's like a dance between the food and wine, where each partner brings out the best in each other. At its very core, it's about finding complementary flavors that work together to enhance the overall experience of food. Again, you might be wondering that why do people love to pair wine with food? There are several reasons for that. Firstly, it's like an opportunity to explore and discover new flavors and combinations. It's a chance to be adventurous and try something new. And the best part is that food and wine pairing can enhance the social aspect of dining. For example, as people gather together to share their experiences and opinions, it can create a sense of community and connection around the table. There's something inherently satisfying about finding the perfect pairing. It's like solving a puzzle or completing a challenge. When you find the right combination of food and wine, it's a feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction. It can make the dining experience more enjoyable and memorable. Even though food and wine pairing sounds fun and a breeze, but there are a few basic principles to follow when it comes to pairing food with wine. But again, the most important thing is to experiment and find what works for you best. One of the first principles of food and wine pairing is to match the intensity of the wine with the intensity of the food. This means that a full-bodied red wine would pair well with a hearty meat stew, and a light-bodied white wine would be much better for a delicate seafood dish. The basic idea is that neither of the food nor the wine should be overwhelmed by the other. The second principle is to consider the acidity of both the food and the wine. A high-acid wine can cut through the richness of a fatty dish, while a low-acid wine might be overwhelmed by it. Similarly, a dish with high acidity like tomato sauce would pair well with a wine that also has high acidity. This principle applies for creating a balance and harmony between food and wine. The third principle is to consider the flavors and aromas of both the food and the wine equally. For example, a wine which has notes of citrus and herbs would pair well with a dish that features some of those flavors. This principle helps to create complementary flavors that work together to enhance the overall dining experience. The world of food and wine pairing is so fascinating. And it can be an enjoyable practice. Whether you're a seasoned wine connoisseur or just starting out, there's always something new to discover and enjoy in the world of food and wine pairing. Since the dawn of civilization, humans have been enjoying the pleasures of wine and food. But it wasn't until the Middle Ages that food and wine pairing became an art form. In those days, wine was often mixed with spices and herbs, making it a versatile beverage that could complement a wide range of dishes. During the Renaissance, food and wine pairing began to take a more scientific approach, as chefs and sommeliers experimented with different combinations to find the perfect match. It was during this time that the concept of pairing wine with cheese emerged, and this concept still remains a popular combination today. The idea behind this pairing was that the fat in cheese would soften the tannins in wine, making it more palatable. This Renaissance period also saw the rise of sweet wines, which were paired with desserts or sweet dishes. In the 18th century, the French developed a sophisticated approach to wine and food pairing. This was based on the principle of terrain, which refers to the unique environmental factors that affect the flavor of wine. For example, the type of soil, climate, topography, environmental conditions in which the grapes are grown and the wine is made can affect the flavor of wine. This approach led to the creation of regional cuisine, which paired local wines with dishes that reflected the flavors of that particular region. The French believed that wine from a particular region would pair best with dishes that reflect the flavors of that region. For example, a rich Bordeaux would be paired with a hearty meat dish, while a lighter Loire Valley wine would be paired with seafood. As time moved on and the 19th century came, food and wine pairing took a global perspective, as explorers and traders brought exotic spices and ingredients from around the world. This led to the emergence of fusion cuisine, which paired wine with dishes that combined elements from different culinary traditions. For example, a spicy Asian dish could be paired with a sweet Riesling to balance out the heat. This period also saw the rise of champagne, which was no longer just for special occasions, but became a popular aperitif that could be paired with a wide range of dishes. During the 20th century, wine and food pairing continued to evolve, as chefs and sommeliers experimented with new techniques and ingredients. The rise of molecular gastronomy in the 21st century led to a new era of food and wine pairing, as chefs used science to create innovative dishes that challenge the traditional pairings. This was also the time when wine began to be viewed as a luxury item, and sommeliers began to create elaborate wine lists to complement the dishes on the menu. Today, food and wine pairing remains an art form, and there are many factors considered when pairing wine with food, including the flavor profile of the wine, the acidity of the dish, the texture of the food, and so much more. And with so many variables to consider, there is always room for experimentation and creativity when it comes to pairing food with wine. When you pair a wine that complements the flavors of your dish, it can create a harmonious balance that enhances the taste of both. And as I've said before, that this can create an enjoyable dining experience that can make your meals even more memorable. But the benefits of food and wine pairing go beyond just enhancing the flavor of your meal. Pairing food with wine can also enhance the nutritional value of your meal. For example, pairing a high-acid white wine with a fatty fish like salmon can help your body digest the fish better by breaking down the fats in the fish. Similarly, pairing a red wine with a meal that consists of iron-rich foods like red meat or leafy greens can help your body to absorb iron more efficiently. When it comes to the physical effects of food and wine pairing, there are several factors at play. One of the most significant is the way in which wine can affect our digestion. Research has shown that drinking wine during a meal can help to stimulate the production of digestive enzymes, which can aid the breakdown of food and help to prevent indigestion. Additionally, certain wines, such as red wine, have been shown to contain antioxidants that can help to reduce inflammation and promote heart health. However, the physical effects of food and wine pairing go beyond just digestion and your heart health. When we consume food and wine together, the flavors and aromas of each can interact in a way that can heighten our perception of taste and smell. For example, the tannins in red wine can help to break down the fats and proteins in meat, enhancing the flavor and texture of the dish. And all of these benefits of food and wine pairing do not just stop at the physical level. There are also several mental and emotional benefits to be gained from the art of pairing food and wine. One of the most significant is the way in which it can enhance our mood and create a sense of relaxation and well-being. Studies have shown that the act of savoring food and wine can help to activate the pleasure centers in the brain, triggering the release of feel-good hormones like dopamine and serotonin. Pairing food and wine can also be a way to explore new flavors and expand your palate. By experimenting with different pairings, you can discover new flavors that you may have not thought of before. This can help you develop a deeper appreciation for the art of food and wine pairing and make your dining experience even more enjoyable. Another benefit is that it can be a way to socialize and connect with others. Sharing a bottle of wine and discussing the flavors and pairings with your friends and family can create shared experiences that can deepen your connection with others. And most importantly, food and wine pairing can be a way to support local businesses and promote sustainability. By choosing wines from local vineyards or pairing wines with locally sourced ingredients, you can support local farmers and promote sustainable agriculture. See, now you will definitely agree that the benefits of food and wine pairing go beyond just enhancing the flavor of your meal. Alright, now it's time to explore some basic principles that can help to make successful food and wine pairing. The first rule of food and wine pairing is to match the intensity of the wine with the intensity of the dish. This means that light-bodied wines should be paired with lighter dishes, while full-bodied wines should be paired with heartier dishes. The second rule is to pair acidic wines with acidic foods. This creates a balanced flavor profile and can help to cut through the richness of a dish. The third rule is to pair tannic wines with foods that are rich in protein or fat. This is because tannins in wine can help to cut through the richness of any dish, creating a balanced flavor profile without it being too overpowering. The fourth rule is to consider cooking method of the dish. Grilled or roasted dishes tend to pair well with full-bodied tannic wines, while lighter dishes like poached fish pair better with lighter wines. The fifth and the final rule to consider is the flavor profile of the wine and the dish. If the wine has fruity or floral notes, it may pair well with dishes which have similar flavor profiles. These general rules of food and wine pairing can help to create successful pairings and enhance the flavor of both the food and the wine. Remember to match the intensity of the wine with the intensity of the dish. Pair acidic wines with acidic foods. Pair tannic wines with protein or fat. Consider the cooking method of the dish and think about the flavor profile of both the wine and the dish equally. Now that you know about these rules, next time you pair food with wine, remember these to make your experience even more enjoyable. Food and wine pairing. It's an art that can take your dining experience to the next level. Understanding the history of food and wine pairing, the benefits it offers, and the general rules that can guide successful pairings can help you create memorable dining experiences. By exploring new flavor combinations, deepening your connection with others through shared meals and wines, and supporting local businesses and sustainable agriculture, food and wine pairing can also become a way to enrich your life and make a more positive impact overall. But in today's world, the benefits of food and wine pairing, they just extend beyond enhancing the flavor. They can have positive impacts on your health and well-being. For example, studies have shown that moderate wine consumption can lower the risk of heart diseases, improve digestion, and even boost cognitive function. When paired with the right foods, wine can also help to bring out the flavors and textures of the dish, creating a more enjoyable dining experience. So, the next time you sit down to a delicious meal, take the time to consider the wine you pair with it and let your taste buds embark on a journey of flavor and delight. Cheers! Thank you so much for sticking around with me on this episode of Foodology. I had an incredible time talking to you. This is radio host Devansh, signing off. Hope you have a beautiful and a magical day ahead. See you soon!